Hello, everybody in the Ayurveda and Women's Health Sisterhood. I am excited to share another student success story, and that is with the amazing, beautifully talented Emma Windle. And Emma is now an Ayurveda lifestyle and wellness coach, but she's also the owner of Balance Yoga Studios, which she has set up not that long ago. And they have a really beautiful, unique difference in that they are also offering Ayurvedic cleanses that incorporate the yoga classes and all of the things which I'll let Emma explain later on. But Emma, welcome.
How are you?
I'm so good, thank you. And it's lovely to see you. You're looking amazing and beautiful as always.
You too. So nice to see you again.
Thank you. Would you like to share with us a little bit about what you're doing now as an Ayurveda lifestyle and wellness coach and the owner of Balance Yoga Studio?
Yeah, absolutely. So I finished the Ayurveda Alchemist program with Harmony end of last year. And during that time, actually an opportunity came about with my business partner, Paula, and I to open a yoga studio. So we were working on that just at the end of the Alchemist program. And we opened Balance Yoga Studio down in Coolangatta about 2 months ago. So we're a yoga studio down there that has an array of different yoga and actually hot Pilates classes. And we're running Ayurveda coaching and also a 7-day cleanse. And we've got our first cleanse coming up on the 23rd of January. So 2 Mondays away, which is really exciting.
Yay, amazing. It's such a beautiful blend because when we know with Ayurvedic cleanses, it's not just about cleansing the physical, it's cleansing the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual, because we speak of in Ayurveda having a buildup of armor, and that can be physical toxins in the body, but we can also have mental, emotional toxins that haven't been processed properly. So by adding the Ayurvedic principles and cleansing through that process, but also offering the yoga goes like that beautiful, deeper step so that they're actually having the physical part of it where they can physically move their body, which we know is fantastic for lymphatic drainage, and we know that we need the lymphatic system to work to mobilize all of those toxins, but also embedding in that spirituality, the philosophy and calming of the mind and all of those beautiful techniques and pranayama and things like that. So that's amazing that you were doing that. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your cleanse.
So the cleanse is a 7-day Ayurveda cleanse, and it's thousands of years old. And we use a coupling of nutrition, so different foods to actually nourish the body. So we promise you won't go hungry on the cleanse. And we pair that with daily routines, so morning and evening routines to help detoxify the body, like you said, and to bring our body and mind back into balance. Because we all know what our lifestyles are like these days, and we're on the go all the time and so busy that we sometimes get away from we get out of balance, and that can cause disease in our body and mind. So yeah, the cleanse runs for 7 days, and we have an intake form that we send out to everybody who's completing it. I have a personal meeting with each of our clients, and we personalize the cleanse. So depending on some struggles that they may have going on in their lives, or habits, or habits in their routines, or diets that they want to change, we actually tailor the cleanse to that. So the cleanse runs for 7 days. It has 3 phases. So the first 2 days is the prep phase. We have 3 days of detox and then 2 days of rejuvenation, which sets it apart quite a lot from other cleanses that that we've all heard of, juice cleanses and soup cleanses and things like that. So it's really good, and the results that I've had from clients so far has just been absolutely amazing. And it's been a great kickstart for people to actually put some really positive routines into their lifestyles going forward, and just to detoxify and make themselves feel so much better afterwards. So yeah, we're really excited to start it, and we've got a few people signed up already, so keen to get some more on board.
Yay, amazing. And that's what I do love about Ayurveda. Even if you're doing it in a group cleansing situation, it is still really personalized. And I love that you've really incorporated that personalization into it. But the other positive about doing it in a group is that you encourage each other and you build this beautiful community and you're going through the cleansing process, which is really beautiful in its own right. So yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, and I'll be there to support everyone throughout the cleanse. Also be setting up a group so that if anyone has any questions, we'll can go through them there, or any feedback on how they're traveling throughout it. And yeah, and for people that aren't members of Balanced Yoga Studio, they're more than welcome to come and join the cleanse as well. And we actually give them a free week membership so that, like you said before, they can get the movement into their bodies as well to help flush out the toxins and
wow,
help.
that's amazing.
So, yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, and I know as you were going through the Ayurveda Alchemist program, you had a passion and a desire to do the cleansing part of, you know, the wide range what Ayurveda can really offer us. And I know with your practical assessment, you did walk clients through cleansing. So you've done all that and you've already had the amazing feedback, which is a really positive thing. I think once you can get that experience and then really bring it to your niche is amazing. So I know the other thing we really sort of work on with students throughout the program is understanding what they do and who they serve and the problem that they solve for people. Because as a business, like the Ayurveda Alchemist program, we teach you all of the physical tools, the science behind Ayurveda, the lifestyle, all aspects, including cleansing, like Emma's doing. But then we finish with the business modules, and it's really important when you come out that you start to establish a niche. And you know, it might not come straight away. Sometimes we need to put our feelers out, see what we like, see what we don't like. But the more we can start to understand our audience, the better it is. So in your words, Emma, what specifically do you do and who do you serve and what is the problem that you're solving for people?
Yeah, so for Paola, my business partner, and I, we created balance on the idea that we live in this society and this culture where busy is normal, and you know, we wear it as a badge. And both Paola and I actually experienced you know, imbalance within our mind and body throughout that time, which led to sicknesses. And we realized that we need to do something to change this. And this normal living in our sympathetic nervous system isn't great for our health. And we saw this happening within friends and people that we knew. And so lucky for us, we found yoga during this time, and it helped us so much. And so we created balance with the idea that we want to have a space for people to be able to come in and, you know, take some time out in their day, whether it's an hour a day or even an hour or two a week. We noticed in ourselves that made such a difference, and we want to be able to offer that space to other people. And then by offering the cleanse, it just takes it that next level. So the way that you feel and that my clients have felt, and I've personally felt after 7 days, is just incredible. And, you know, you do feel like a new person, and you become more aware of your actions and your thoughts and, you know, and how you're feeling. You become more in tune with your body. And so if people can start to see that that's an option and step out of this hectic go lifestyle, you know, we'll all be a lot happier and healthier. And that's the aim, really, is just to help others so that they can experience what we've experienced.
Yeah, brilliant. And I know you've already got a health background. You are a yoga teacher, an established yoga teacher before joining the Ayurveda Alchemist program. And we do help health wellness coaches, practitioners, and healer up level their business by adding Ayurveda elements. But you also have a corporate background. So you are an accountant, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So how is that transition from like the accounting space to the health space? And what sort of, like, in business talking now, like what have been your biggest challenges and your biggest wins?
Yeah. Okay. So biggest challenges, I would say, I got into the accounting space as I thought it was, you know, the right thing to do. And it wasn't necessarily following my heart, but it's a great base. And it's been amazing with the yoga studio and the Ayurveda coaching as well, because I have that business background and, you know, I have the ability to do that side of it, which is amazing. the challenge for me is, transitioning from that, which I guess, you could say is a comfortable position, to then move into following your heart. And I know a lot of people that do the Ayurveda Alchemist, that is a goal of theirs. They want to move into something that they're more passionate to do. And it can be a challenge. But I remember talking to you actually at the start before I started the Alchemist program. And I remember you saying it was about taking one step in front of the other and then the path will show itself. And it's exactly what happened. So, midway through the Ayurveda Alchemist, this opportunity came up and I remembered Harmony's words and I went with it. And then, it's developed into this amazing yoga studio. And, we moved into the health space with the cleansers and the Ayurveda coaching. But definitely, and there was times along the journey where, actually Harmony probably had an emotional phone call for me one day where, I wasn't sure, and I knew in my gut it was right, but, the head kicks in and, I was thinking, what if this doesn't succeed? And, it's all of that stuff that comes up, but, trusting your gut and being able to, follow the path, and you don't have to know what the end goal is. It's just taking the first step, and, taking the first step with the Alchemist program was actually life-changing for me. So yeah, very lucky. Thank you.
Yeah, it is scary being supported. I was supported in a government job forever as a clinical nurse, right? And it was really scary stepping out of that role. And then I still held on to my yoga teaching, my Pilates teaching, and then was nursing in a private lifestyle retreat. But then slowly I started letting them slowly go one by one as I was getting more confidence within myself and my business. And now I'm full-time in my business, but it definitely does, entrepreneurship, it shows up all of your fears and limiting beliefs that you have to work through. So what was one of your biggest mindset shifts that you made through the transition, or even just with up-leveling your business?
Yeah, so I think for me, the biggest thing that I've had to overcome, and it still is a challenge now, is that internal voice that, sometimes says you're not good enough, like what if this fails? And, even going back to when I first started teaching yoga and, having that voice in my head, like, oh, this playlist isn't good, or they're not enjoying the class. And then afterwards you get the feedback from people that they loved it. They wanted to know what the playlist was. And, it's then realizing that those thoughts aren't necessarily real. And, it's this inner critic that can try hinder us and keep us, at a base level that we need to overcome and, to be able to push and improve ourselves. So that was definitely a challenge. And, it still shows up and it still is a challenge. And I think when you move then to the next step of, expanding the business or whatever, it shows up again. And, but it's just staying true to yourself and taking a moment to breathe and think, I know I'm doing something that's right. So, and then being able to continue. But yeah.
It sure does. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And having support around you is amazing as well, and so essential.
Absolutely. And I think it's really important to have these conversations, because just hearing you say that, like I go through those thoughts too. And it's really important to know that you're not alone in that thought process of, as you were mentioning in the yoga class, oh, do they not even like the music? Do they not like the poses I'm doing? And yeah, same when you start first seeing clients as well. Sometimes you're doubting yourself because you're new at it, and you can be asking yourself those questions like, am I delivering enough to them? Is this good enough? And then they come back and they go, that was amazing, thank you so much, like you gave me so much insights. And you're like, oh phew. But if you don't need to doubt yourself, it's already within you. And we all go through it though. We all go through that doubt. So is there any like gold nugget business advice that you have received along your path so far?
Yeah, so for me, and it's something that I live by, I always think about, okay, so two things actually. The first thing is this going to affect my life in 5 years? And I think about that. If it's a decision I need to make, and if it's something that's going to affect me in 5 years, then I need to take action and, do something about it. If it's not going to affect me in 5 years and I'm not going to think about it, then I don't give it a worry and I let it go. So that helps me massively. And then the second thing is I consider what's the worst case scenario. So let's say, going into the Ayurveda coaching, and, or opening the yoga studio, I'm like, okay, what's the worst case scenario? I might, lose a bit of money, lose a bit of time, but which isn't the end of the world. I still end up in a position I've started in. But you gain knowledge along the way, you meet new people, it's all about the journey, and the stuff that you learn, and what all the other connections that you make, and that. So considering what is the worst case scenario, it's usually not that bad. And so that's quite comforting for me. And yeah, I think that would help people a lot as well.
I love that. And lastly, what advice would you give other coaches, practitioners, and healers who want to create deeper impact and connect to a higher purpose through their business?
Yeah, I would think it's just so important to find out what you're passionate about and go in that direction. So, don't force something that doesn't make you feel good when you're doing it. And, one thing in contrast in the accounting to the yoga and Ayurveda is the way that I feel after spending time on the different activities. The way I feel is totally different from finishing a day of accounting to finishing, a session in the yoga studio or coaching or whatever it might be. And so following that gut feel and, following your purpose and doing it for that reason, not for some other reason.
Absolutely. And just asking yourself, like, is it depleting you or is it lighting you up?
Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Emma. You shared lots of wisdom with us today, and it was such an amazing pleasure to have you on the program. Like, you were such a beautiful community member. And the thing with the Ayurveda Alchemist program is it doesn't just stop when your time is up. You get lifetime access to the Ayurveda Alchemist alumni Facebook group, which is a really beautiful community of support. And you also get access to ongoing live lectures and guest expert speakers. This year we have some amazing international speakers, leaders in their field coming in. We've got some of my teachers coming that taught me about Ayurveda doula and postpartum and pregnancy care. We've got mindset workers coming in. We've got more business coaches. So you really do get like a whole range of facilitators, and you get to embody the practice yourself, because I think that's so important as a coach or a practitioner, is to really embody the practice that you're teaching so that you can really deliver it with heart and soul. So I just encourage anyone, if you are curious about the Ayurveda Alchemist program, if you would love to learn more about holistic health coaching and integrate that into your business, because one of the other things we do, we get a lot of existing life coaches, health practitioners, nurses come into the program, yoga, Pilates teachers. And so you all have a big, huge range of skills. I mean, even Emma, with her accounting skills, she had that business corporate background that she can then pull into her unique own methodology that she can apply in a signature program. So that's what we also help you do. So if you are curious about it and would like more information, please get in touch. I'm always happy to have a chat, really like easygoing and laid back, and it's no obligation at all. I want to make sure that the program is a right fit for you as much as you're a right fit for the program as well. So yeah, please reach out. Is there any parting words you would like to share with us about your journey, about the program, about your business, whatever it might be?
Yeah, I was just to say that last year has been just really transformative, and the Ayurveda Alchemist helped that absolutely massively. And yeah, I couldn't recommend it anymore. But yeah, and I think for people, just, don't set the bar too low, and, follow what you're passionate about and just go for it. And what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, exactly. What's the worst that can happen? I love how you looked at it in that way. I think I've got to do that with a few things I've got on my mind.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. See, we all learn from each other, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Emma.
Thank you.